I'm Dominica. It's DominicaraNieri. I am one of the College of Science and Math ASI representatives. Definitely, I'm interested in medicine, so I want to be a pediatric gastroenterologist. So focusing on biochemistry kind of helps balance the biology and the chemistry part of it. I think mainly just the lab portions of the class, because we're using techniques that are used in actual labs in the real world, and it really helps bring the focus that we're learning in the classroom into techniques that we're actually going to be using to be successful in our careers. I think it's definitely student success focused based on just the amount of resources that our campus offers, just to make sure that we are successful in the classes that we're taking, such as the STEM Center, our supplemental instruction, the learning assistance, just really focused on student learning and the impact that it can make the difference in even raising grades and even interest in science to help keep the rotation rate up for students focused in science and math, because everybody sees it as such a hard major, but our campus offers so many resources that it's easy to keep focus and to keep moving forward in the same career or in the same field. I think our faculty is really good. I mean, a lot of them served as personal mentors to me, and it doesn't seem like there's really that gap between faculty and students, that they're really focused on your learning and that you care and that you're not just memorizing, that you're actually understanding the concepts that they're teaching. And then the techniques in the lab, making sure that you're perfecting it so that when you go and you get a job, you're able to use your experience and the skills that we learned here and put it into our success as a student and then in real life when we have careers. And so I think our faculty is just really good in supporting students and creating, since our campus is so small, we're able to have that one-on-one personal relationship and attention to make sure that we are growing and that we're not lost in the crowd, kind of. So I think our faculty does a really good job at making sure that the students feel like they do care and that we are learning and that we will get a job after we graduate. For me, well, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was 17, so that kind of helped push me towards a career in medicine. And just to keep me motivated, I realized how important research is in the medical field, because I probably wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for all the research that was done. And just my learning in my biochemistry classes that have helped showed me how the material really connects with the medical field and with my disease, and how we're still learning, we're still growing, and there's so much that we don't know in science, that it is important that we get people who are interested in science and how important research is to really save lives. So I mean, going to class is obviously important, but it's also the learning that you have outside of the classroom. So I think the labs are definitely a real world experience, as well as getting involved on campus, whether it is a club, ASI, getting a job on campus that's outside of the classroom, because you learn so much more with personal relationships that you develop, as well as the networking is crucial when you graduate in helping develop those skills that you don't get in the classroom, communication skills, leadership skills, that will all help you also be successful, not only at CSUSM, but in your career as well. I think definitely just, again, how small we are, because our classes are so small that we do have faculty who knows everybody's name, who knows what you're capable of, meeting the needs of every student. It's easier when you have smaller class sizes, because, I mean, you're not in a classroom with 500 other people with only one teaching style. It allows the professor to adapt to meeting the needs of every student. And then again, that we're so new, we're able to set traditions on this campus that are going to be here for the future generations who go here. So it's really unique to be a part of all the growing and development that's going on with our STEM Center that just opened this year, and then the Student Union opening is right around the corner. So it's just nice to be a part of so much development and leave a legacy once we're gone. I think, again, the lab techniques are definitely crucial. I went to a tour at Dominica, which is a biochemistry research lab in San Marcos, and they were using the same crystallization techniques and plasma and stuff that we had just done in our biochemistry lab. So making sure that our curriculum is matching up with the techniques that we're going to be using in a career of science definitely helps to focus that and just prepare us for once we leave COCOSM and really develop us from the students when we entered Cal State San Marcos into like the scientists we become once we graduate. Pretty much once you're in undergrad, you can talk to different professors because each professor is working on a different area that you'd be interested in. So once you go, they require you to talk to a minimum of 3 professors, but you can talk to as many as you want. And once you find something that kind of piques your interest and they have an opening in their lab, you can go and talk to them, and most of them are more than willing to have students in their lab. They actually like it. And so once you talk to the professor and they let you in your lab, the department will approve what project you decide to work on, and then you can start working from there. Well, pretty much when you decide to work on or to work with a professor, most of them specialize in a certain area of whatever field it is. And then within that area field, you can choose a different project you'd like to research on. And then when the faculty will obviously approve what you're working on and take it to the department, and once it comes back and you get started, it's really student-based. So students are really crucial to the research projects, and then they'll talk to the professors will actually be there every step of the way. So even if you get stuck or you don't remember something that you learned in class, the professors will always be there to help you, to guide you and really provide knowledge. So it's definitely more of a personal, it feels like an independent class that you're taking with personal focus straight from the professor. So it's really nice to really develop that relationship and that mentor relationship to work on these projects, and then eventually most of the time you get published or you do a project fair or a research fair. So it's a really nice networking, and it's also really cool to just really develop and groom your techniques. So I haven't started yet, but I am talking to Dr. Eric Reinheimer, and he works with X-ray diffraction and crystallization. So we talked about my project would be insulin and how it binds to different metals, which is really cool because it could help it's really relevant to the medical field, especially with people with diabetes. And if we find something that binds to another metal that binds kind of like zinc or even better than zinc, we could potentially develop a new medicine. So that would be really cool, and I think it's really exciting that he was able to find something that would pique my interest as well as kind of goes hand in hand with what I want to do in the future and definitely relevant to medicine. I was in my first biochemistry lab, and we had done crystallization as one of our first labs. So I was already familiar with the technique that he was using, and we actually went to visit his lab as part of that lab or part of that class. And so after we visited his lab, I kind of talked to him and just asked him more about what he does and his research lab and what his research is based on. And then we met a couple times after that, and we just talked about different areas, and he was really passionate about insulin. And when he was just talking to me about the way insulin works, and my mom was diagnosed with diabetes like a long time ago, so it kind of also had like that personal impact to me. So I thought it'd be really cool to work on that with him. And as I just learned more about insulin and just the complex molecule that it is, it just seemed really interesting. And the fact that this is stuff that people at Pfizer do just kind of brought a little more edge, and I thought it'd be really cool to actually learn. Not specifically gastroenterology, since it's more focused on the digestive system, but it does kind of go hand in hand with how binding mechanism works, and So, I mean, binding and receptors are so important in the biochemistry field because it's part of pretty much all of the metabolic pathways that are in like your digestive system, your metabolism. So all of that is just, so it kind of relates to it. So if I can learn these techniques and I guess develop my research with this, I'll have transferable skills that will go into pediatric gastroenterology. And I mean, you never know. I mean, people change their field every day. So I might do something with diabetes or endocrinology maybe. So I mean, I think it definitely helped me develop more of an interest in medicine and be able to hopefully bring the skills that I learned here into research that I'll do in the future. I think it's just, I know a lot of people shy away just because it's science and math, but it's definitely, I think, one of the most innovative areas on campus. And I mean, it's such a fast-paced environment, especially people who I don't like routines, so people who don't like routines, who want to be a part of the changing society that we're living in. It's definitely a great field to go into, and all the work that our faculty and our professors are doing, even our dean, I think they're just doing a great job working, especially in the economy that we're at right now. And one of my favorite things that they do every year is the Super STEM Saturday, which is an outreaching event for all the youth to get them interested and engaged in science. I think that is definitely one thing that our campus also has. I mean, this year we brought over 3,000 students who came and enjoyed. I mean, we had rockets going on, we had all types of stuff to get students and youth interested in science, and I think being a part of that is also like another bonus and amazing experience in the College of Science and Math.